the Germans are not so keen on working anymore, that the younger generation want to have, in a way, their definition from a better life is not to have more money. She said, no, I don't want to be part of this system. I step out. And I think this is maybe a bit more difficult in China, to say I step out.
People will think that you are a loser, so you say like that.
In some of the Chinese families, they are not talking to each other. They used to tell me, I have to control my son, that he gets better in his performances. The child knows he has to become better, but apart from this, he has no idea what parents want him.
Getting nervous.
Me too. Have a deep breath.
Yeah.
So, I just read an article about this, that the employer are criticizing that the Germans are not so keen on working anymore, that the younger generation want to have, in a way, their definition from a better life is not to have more money. Actually, it's very interesting. This is like a new movement in Germany, that the young people, they say, it's nice to work, but I don't want to work so hard. It's enough money for me if I work a little less. Then I have more time with the family, or I can play soccer, or I can play tennis, or I go for a walk, or I meet my friends in the afternoon and we go for a walk to the seaside, or whatever. So this is maybe a topic for the whole society.
Yeah.
That you can't solve individually. I have an example, my brother. He is now 67. He was studying mathematics, but he didn't finish. And later on, he was studying engineering, but he didn't finish. And my father and my mother weren't very happy about this, but it was not that the family was broken. And he went to Portugal, and he is married there, they have a daughter, and they have a very simple life because they don't have very much money. And he never took advantage from his intelligence, because he said, no, I don't want to be part of this system, I step out. And I think this is maybe a bit more difficult in China, to say I step out.
People will think that you are a loser, so you say like that.
But I think there are different systems, there are different cultures, there are different developments. It's not the way that some things are better than others. We have to accept them as different, not as better or worse. When I come in 77, there were hardly any talking about mental health. We have a lot of people coming to us, to our seminar. They tell us there are a lot of school refusal. Seems to be a big problem.
Right.
That they stay at home, don't want to go to school, that get psychosomatic problems, maybe stomach aching, head aching. Or they look for other solutions, especially with girls, that they cut themselves.
Right.
Or with boys who become more aggressive, even at home, towards parents or grandparents. To me, it seems that in Chinese, or in most of the Chinese families, or in some of the Chinese families, they are not talking to each other. They don't talk to the child. They have special expectation on the child, but the child knows he has to become better, but apart from this, he has no idea what parents want him.
Right. That's a, typical conflict situation here.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of TV series about that.
Yeah. When I have the self-experience with a mother or with a father, they used to tell me, oh, I have to control my son, that he gets better in his performances. And then I ask, on which level is he? And then the mother might say, he is not the best. He is not under the best 3. He is maybe middle. And then ask her, isn't that enough? And she said, no, he has to perform better. And so I think both parents and children have a lot of stress.
Right. Here.
Maybe a little more than in Germany or in Europe, because of course you have parents who respect their children and they praise their children and they show love to them. But a lot of, and I think especially the men are more caught in the traditional thinking. I'm not sure, but it seems to me a little bit.
You mean something like masculinity? Or
yeah, and
like
you have
males?
learning, you have to be good, you have to do this, you have to do this, and you have to follow us.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned respect of parents to children. So maybe we can also talk a little bit about, how to respect, because I feel like that's also causing anxiety in Chinese parents, as they want to respect, but they don't know how. So.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because some of the people told me, I talked to my son or to my daughter, and I say, what are you talking about? Yeah, I ask him, how is your grade? Did you have done your homework? Have you eaten? And so on. They are just more questions in terms of want to control the person. And this is nothing you really can learn. So the communication within Chinese families is not enough. How can you improve your relationship? And this Danish psychologist said another main point in education is to respect the children and not push them down. To respect them as human beings. There is nothing you can learn on books or learn in seminars. It is an attitude.
The parents, they have to learn how their children think. This kind of mindset is necessary.
Right.
Because you said we talk a lot about Chinese families' problems. And it seems that German families have already come out of this trouble.
No, they have similar problems. They solve them different. We have problems with depressive children, especially after COVID. We say it's an individual decision. It's not a decision of the family. I can tell you a little story about myself. I was a teacher in Germany. I was employed by the government. And my parents said, there's a safe job. Nothing can happen to you. Then I got married. And they was very much satisfied I had a good job. And then they thought, it will go along this way. And then I got a divorce because of different reasons. And then I decided to quit my job, this very safe job, and go to China. It was a big decision, and it was very hard for my parents to accept it. But they never tried to suppress me not to do it. Until my mother died 3 years ago, every time she said, can you stay? Why do you go so far away? But she never would force me to stay.
Like in my family, sometimes my dad will say, I have no expectation on you. I will not put pressure on you in making decision. But I feel like there's a, latent or very hidden stress that he imposed on me in everyday communication. Just like a negative reaction to my bad performance or something.
But they could say, we are very proud of you. You have a good job. You have an interesting job. You went to America. You speak so good English. You did so well.
I actually live in a normal Chinese family. My parents did not praise me that much. I asked them why they don't praise me. And they say, oh, I don't want you to be too proud.
Yeah.
You will feel proud. And then you will be, out of the track.
Out of control.
Yeah, you off the way.
I think here in China, more the unspoken tradition is very heavy. Even if they don't say it, you feel it in the whole society.
Yeah.
And you see all these little pieces, they have an input on the whole cultural development.
Right. Want to have some water?
Thank you.
And take some rest.
There are so many interesting
Yeah?
parents' expectation and how to praise family
Yeah,
members.
that's the most important. Talk in a nice way and praise them and love them. Because
Because if you don't criticize children, you are not a good parent.
yeah, I know. And this is really difficult to change this mind. Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah.
Because for the children, if you just have a relaxed life, you are not a good kid.
But I think it will change because I heard there are already some young people, they say, I don't want this pressure. And I go to the smaller city, I go to the countryside. And this was a development in Germany in the 60s. A lot of young people said, not with me. And they went to the countryside, they did their own planting.
What we talked just
And
now.
actually, I think there is another topic which comes up in China, and we don't have it so much in Germany, that grandparents have a big role in the education of the children.
Yeah.
And so their ideas of educating is different to the ideas of the parents. I had a very deep impression with one of my Chinese colleagues from Nanjing. We met each other, say, for 10 years ago. She was a very successful woman. She was a professor at the university. She was an editor for a magazine. And we were talking, and she said suddenly, oh, Doris, I have failed my life. I said, how could it be? You have done so many things. Yes, she said, but I don't have a grandchild. And this shows to me the importance in the system to have grandchildren, hopefully a son.
There is a kind of value. Now, like in China, children are the center of the family.
I think because of this cultural background, the grandparents have the expectation to be part of the family. More and more young families are not so happy with the influence of the grandparents. Because the grandparents spoil the children, especially when they are small. And they have different ideas of educating. And so they have a kind of stress in the family. Because the grandparents mostly think I'm right. And you are my child, you have to follow me. So this causes quite a lot of conflicts in families. I think it will change time by time. It won't change maybe with the generation of your grandmothers and fathers, because they are very strict in their role. Your daughter, she is brought up in a different way, with different ideas of parents. In this seminar, we address mainly how to treat children with psychotherapy. And we talk about what kind of habit is needed. Last year, we had a workshop with nurses and doctors in a special clinic. And after 2 days, one of the nurses said, oh, now I have understood that people with a mentally disturbance are also human beings. They are more than a patient. They are more than their sickness, their disease. First she said they were only a number. They had also the same clothes, and I never had the feeling that they are individuals. No, I know they are individuals. And this is a change, and it will happen, I'm pretty sure. But it will take time.